Hey Blindspot fan, welcome to the after show. We're going to be talking about if Reade really did kill Jones, what's going on with Jane and Roman, and obviously Kurt and Nas. The Blindspot after show starts right now.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hey guys, welcome to the Blindspot after show. You know, I'm just hanging out in. What? Kelli.
Oh, hey, what's up, man?
You been down there the whole time?
Yeah, man, I was taking a nap.
Dude.
What's up? What are we doing here?
Blindspot, man.
Oh, this is the Blindspot.
Yeah, the girl with the tattoos and all that.
Oh, this is awesome. What's up? Can I join?
Yeah, man, come on.
That's cool. Let's get it.
What's up? I mean, dude.
What's going on, everybody?
Hey.
I'm Chaos J, KAAOSJ.
There we go. As you know, I'm Gabrielle Gonzalez. You can follow me on Twitter at @G on TV. So to let you guys know, Katie will no longer be with us on the Blindspot after show, but she is still on AFTERBUZZ TV. So check out her social media. Reach out to her if you want to keep talking to her about the show. I know she's still going to be watching and enjoying it, and she'd love to hear your thoughts. But man,
thank you for letting me crash the party,
dude,
man.
Thank you for coming, man.
Hey, man,
welcome
I was kind
to
of
the
sleepy,
show.
so I had to take a little nap. I didn't know I was gonna get to do the Blindspot show tonight.
Right? No, it's good though. I mean, it was really explosive, so it's gonna wake you up, man.
It was definitely an explosive episode, hence the song.
Exactly.
TNT.
I mean, you can't get enough of that. So we've got a quick show. We're only going to be on, less time than usual. So we're just going to break it down real quick. We had essentially, guys, you already know if you saw tonight's episode, 3 storylines. I'm going to break it down all 3, and then we'll be back for our regular time show next week. But let's start off with our main characters, Jane and her brother Roman. I mean, talk about family drama, man.
Serious. And Roman's got a lot of angst.
Yes.
He's still, even though he's definitely, got Jane's back, you can still see that there's a lot of resentment. And he's still got a lot of resentment towards her. Yeah. He's still got some feelings that he needs to to air out.
No, definitely. So we learn about it. They brought up the history of the coin. Essentially, that was their teddy bear. They grew up in this tough orphanage where the kids beat them up and all this. And that was what they held on to. And we see that all of this is really tied into their backstory. And Jane, as we learn, she's had her memory wiped and she doesn't remember all of this. And so now present day, when he wants her to be that cold sister who used to value the mission, that person isn't there when he talks to Jane.
No, she's a whole nother person.
Exactly.
She's like Jane 5.0.
Exactly. And you know what? It's like we're getting more to the root of why he's got that disconnect. Like, he loves his sister, but at the same time, could he really turn on her? And we're trying to figure that out. And I feel more on the fence every episode when we break it down.
Right. Now I don't want to jump too far ahead, but there was a moment where he said, hold on.
Bless you. We're good.
Okay. Where he said, winning a war is more important than any one soldier. Because she said, you sound like we're not going to get out of here. And he said, well, he's like, or we're going to die or something. Yeah. He said, well, I'm not planning on it, but I'm prepared to. Yeah. And then that's when he said that whole winning the war is more important than any one soldier. So I'm not going to talk about exactly where they were yet, but the fact that he said that kind of lets you know where he's at mentally. Like, look, I am about this life, and the mission, the objective, is more important than anything else. So at the end of the day, I feel like if he feels like at any one point, if Jane falters and she's not, and her allegiance just drops or anything like that, that he'll turn on her. Like it's almost like heat. If he has to turn on her in 30 seconds, he's out.
I think so too. And we've seen it, he's willing to bend the rules. It's still family, but at the same time, they've just been pushing us that if it comes down to it, he's going to take the mission, his mother Shepherd, and that whole plan that they have with Sandstorm over looking out for Jane. But we saw, close to the end, is it different? So let's just talk about it. They break in. Jane kind of does what we've gotten used to. She's finding a way to accomplish the mission without some bloodshed.
Right.
Roman obviously
she can subdue everybody and just put them to sleep.
Exactly.
Just a nice little nap.
Roman is still very he's not gun shy. He's ready to cut someone down. He's ready to shoot him down for the cause.
To stab him in the face.
And we know, as we come to know with Jane, that's not her MO. But they get to the vaults, they break in, they have to separate, and we see that just moment, Jane remembering what Roman's gone through. We see Roman, we both thought he was going to start shooting, and she was going to have
remember,
to...
she had said something like, you still have that itch to kill,
Yeah.
and like, I don't remember what else she said, but basically she was like, you don't have to kill everybody.
Exactly. Like, you're ready to die for her. Like, are you ready to die for her, or are you just ready to kill for her?
Right.
That kind of,
Right.
that message. And you could see he registered that.
He took it to heart because there were several times where they were tussling back and forth,
and he chose not to shoot.
He chose not to shoot. He literally took the dude's gun after the gun had shot him. He had moved it out the way, and then took his gun and then just held it, and then still subdued the guy.
Yeah. I mean, we know he's a boss. Yeah, he's gonna bring it. We know that just like his sister Jane, they both have that skill set. But what I think is very interesting is like, okay, is she really getting through to him, or is it maybe just when she's there? And remember, his mom, Shepard, who's running the show, she's ready to tell him to kill.
Right.
So we're just getting closer and closer. Man, who will he really choose? Let's say like it is. They went after that microchip. Even with a genius like Patterson, they couldn't get their hands on it.
Yeah, that encryption was super heavy.
Yes.
Super heavy. She said it's moving at light speed, and it was only at 1%. At 1%.
I mean, so we know it's important. I feel like they're gonna bring it back because there's 2 episodes now.
Right.
That they, we need that chip. They still don't have it, so they're looking to get that full swing, I think, and. Could one of our characters not make it out of a mission? Maybe, but I think that this is where things are really gonna just get ratcheted up, and someone's gonna cross the line, and it changes the rest of the season as far as some character dynamics. Because right now everyone's still kind of set. They're raising tension, but everyone's still in their same allegiance as when they started.
Right.
But I'll say now, because we're probably gonna not have too much time for predictions. When you look at their relationship right now, do you think that Jane is going to be able to get Roman to come to her side, or do you think that they're just going to have that line and it's going to come down to a battle?
Because, again, you saw that moment where, she saw that he was getting ready to, he was getting outnumbered.
Yes.
And she instantly had that flashback of where the kids were bullying him, and she felt helpless. She couldn't do anything. They cut him with the coin.
Yeah.
And then, which is why he has that scar. And then instantly, that's when she was like, okay, cool, boom. She pulled the chip. She goes out, to save the day and to rescue him. So, they have that moment, shortly thereafter. And he breaks down. And I feel like it's going to be a long, tough road for these two as siblings and trying to complete the mission and still remain allegiant to their sides. But I don't know. I think the power of Jane is strong. I think she might be able to sway him to her side.
I'd see
if she can paint the bigger picture for him. But he's got to be able to see the bigger picture. And he already sees their picture. Yeah. But now he's got to see it even bigger. So I feel like if she can get him to see, like, look, there's more than one side to this whole thing, she might win him over.
I do believe that he is a guy, he's not a bad guy. He's been trained to see the world a certain way through a certain set of eyes.
Right.
And, he believes he's justified just like his mother does, but I think that he is aware that there is another way. It's just that he's been brainwashed to think, no, their way is the right way.
Sometimes it's easier to just fall back in the old habits.
Exactly. And, he's been conditioned like this essentially since they got adopted. But yeah, so we're going to get into that. We have the next biggest storyline, Kurt and Nas. We had some kind of stuff go on.
A little bounce, wow, wow.
Yes.
I think it's safe to say that we've known that this moment was going to come.
Yeah.
It was going to happen. You even predicted it.
Yes.
And I can't say I was really mad about it. I mean, I already love their partnership anyways. I feel like they work well off of each other. They balance each other out. So now you sprinkle in a little love dust. And I feel like it's perfect. So as long as they can maintain a good balance of, work and personal, and be able to keep that line separating the two and keep everything in perfect harmony, I'm not fighting this. I like them together.
I feel like, see, they just fit. They work. They're two alpha personalities who are finding a way to really coexist, and that's what I like about how that relationship has grown. But let's be honest, we got to talk about it. He was all about Jane at the end of last season, and there's all this
there's a lot of stuff that's unresolved.
Yeah, unfinished.
Well, of course, and it
questions.
was so big of Jane last episode, with the way she took care of Allie and got her to safety. Big. That was big. That's essentially like you taking and you helping your boo thing. You're helping his new boo out of harm's way.
Sure.
But y'all haven't even dealt with you guys' issues. You didn't even know about, but okay.
And here's the thing. I think if Jane does flip, if Jane is the one to flip and not Roman, I feel like that's going to be the reason why, because she's just going to have, on top of other issues that are going to come up, that heartbreak, watching what's happening to her love.
Right.
Like she can't have it. She's probably going to get pushed more by Roman and her mother. And I feel like,
And we did see, just complete sidebar, but we did see, and I hate to use, I hate this expression every time I hear it, but they always say the best way to get over someone is to get under someone else. We did see where she called that guy.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
she called him and tried to set up a date. So, granted, he's not going to be Kurt, obviously, but if somebody can take her mind off of Kurt and this whole drama, by all means, let's do it.
Gonna be,
I need Jane focused right now.
It's true.
Especially with her being a double agent.
And here's the thing, just the same way Kurt, with all this stuff going on, he's making some reckless decisions where he needs Nas to pull him back, like in the safe house, which we're going to talk about right now. But we saw in the last episode when he's trying to save Allie. Jane, I feel like she's getting to that point also. They're really running parallel. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the things that I think we're going to have to watch out for to see who's necessarily going to break first. Because Roman, we also saw him vulnerable, but Jane is kind of like that dark horse in the race to maybe reach him, and if it's gonna happen, I feel like that's gonna be the straw that breaks the camel's back. We got to talk about it though. We finally saw him, Mr. Winter, the guy who brought down the NSA, just the catalyst for so much stuff going on, and
AKA Eddie.
And he might be the most meek, unassuming guy they've ever had on that show.
Right?
I mean, they painted him out like, oh, he's going to be like that, cold, predatory, on the periphery style
they
attacker.
built this dude up, and he's so timid.
Oh, my
goodness. Timid. He's just like a little sheep.
Like, man, you could not hack your way out of a paper bag. I was a little disappointed. But apparently he knows his stuff. Bulgaria had him hostage. And, I wasn't expecting that, and also, I don't know about you, but I figured out immediately, like, he never actually knew Mayfair. Because as soon as Kurt said it, he just kind of said, like, I'm with her. Mayfair was the one that helped me, and it's like, he's just saving his own skin.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, so that one, they break him out. And, they also had a run-in with the CIA guy, Thomas Keaton, saying, hey,
well, because they were in the safe house in Bulgaria.
Yeah.
And then you see there's one part where you see the chick say, like, oh, yeah, they're in the safe house. We're going to need, we're going to need some reinforcements.
Yeah, and we saw that he's looking for Winter, too, because just like, he didn't just, quote-unquote, at this point, reveal NSA, FBI secrets, it's also CIA. He's trying to keep that part under wraps.
Right.
And so it's essentially like, well, why is he competing against us? And it's because Keaton is ready to make Winter disappear, whereas Winter, they still need him for his information at the FBI.
Right. So, and see, and here's something. Let's take a step back.
Sure.
Because granted, I know that they're painting Keaton as this horrible guy, and granted, I'm not gonna say that he's a nice guy given what he did to Jane.
Yeah.
However, the bigger picture is that everybody kind of has somewhat good intentions. He's really, everything he's doing in the, for the safety,
he believes
security.
He's doing it for the greater good.
And the greater good of the country.
Yeah.
Like he's trying to, there's things that are top secret and classified that if, they got out, to the general public could do a lot of harm to national security. So, even though he's very rough around the edges with his approach and what he's trying to do, and we know that what he does isn't always the nicest, I'm not gonna hold him. I'm not gonna fault him too much just yet.
He's just another guy on a mission.
Right. They're both on missions, and their missions obviously are conflicting, but they're both on missions with kind of the same intention. Obviously, the method and the way they're going to do it is going to be way different.
Oh yeah,
way different. He pulls no punches.
Yeah, and I didn't expect that. So he kind of gave himself his own out. He didn't necessarily hire CIA guys, but so that's why he was willing to shoot his own guy at the end of it. But at the same time, you know, he was still part of that plan to get in there and get Winter in the safe house.
Of course. But that was very smart and well executed. That he didn't use his own guys so that he could come in and give himself a clean in and exit, you know, in and out by saying, like, okay, look, I just shot this guy, so clearly I'm one of the good guys. I haven't turned rogue.
Exactly, and we saw obviously, you know, I should have recognized it. Took me a second, but he was also that guy who did help torture Jane, and we see Kurt's reaction to it. But man, just that scene. By the way, what'd you think of Nas just kicking some ass again on the show?
Hey man, Nas is the bomb. Archie Punjabi, yeah, she's dope. She's dope. I remember seeing her on The Good Wife, and I was like, man, good lordy.
They got a lot of women who can handle the gun in that show.
She had a very strong character in that series, and then to see her now, she gets to you know, tote a gun and, you know, and kick some butt. Sign me up, bro. I'm there all day.
What I love, you know, a definition.
And I like the way she balances things. Like, I like the way I feel like she's bringing balance to the team as a whole.
Yeah, she's just another leadership figure. Not necessarily replacing Mayfair, but she's just one of the people who can keep everyone, you know, coordinated, and I think that's important.
And in their own lanes.
Exactly, and I always say this: the true, you know, evidence of a boss, a person who understands, like, hey, you want something done right, you got to do it yourself.
Yeah.
She's willing to, you know, get her hands dirty, shoot some bad guys herself, and that's what I love about her character.
She can handle herself very well.
Yes. So,
all day.
Yeah, so before we wrap up the show, let's talk about the big storyline. We open with it. Reade and Zapata, so we just right there, we don't even get like a last week's teaser. Reade is there looking at Zapata and he says, I heard a noise, I found him like this, I didn't do it. Let's just say it right now. Do you think he killed Jones? I'm going to say it right now. I don't either.
I don't think he did. Granted, obviously, we already know it was a case of wrong place at the wrong damn time. Good God, it was at the wrong time.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't think he did it. Now the key is figuring out who did it, and I'm going to go ahead and go with the obvious. I think it was somebody else that was on one of those tapes.
Yeah.
I gotta give credit, at least, even though he's being difficult, his partner is still trying to hold it down.
Yes.
And especially when she was talking to that security guard.
Oh, yeah, just that manipulation.
She did. And she did it so well.
Yeah, she's that's what I love about Zapata. Like, you know she's one of the good guys, but she's got that dark side. It's intimidating. It's a little sexy, though, you know?
Exactly. You took the words right out of my mouth.
Exactly. It's scary, but I like it. She's just got that kind of side to her.
Like, I would hate to be, you know, obstructing justice. Girl, you obstruct my justice all day. Just saying.
I'm with you, man. I'm with you. But yeah, I feel like I said it. If somehow Sandstorm, they have an eye on it because they want some way to really manipulate Jane down the line, well, who's the people closest to her? The team. When you have this kind of ammunition and you can make him look guilty, well... I mean, they have the capabilities to do this.
Right.
So I feel like even though they haven't brought it up, that's not out of the question yet. So, yeah, could it be someone else and maybe they tie it back in? I don't know. It's going to come out. They did a good job keeping it under wraps this episode, but that's not going to last. And I keep talking about it. I feel like, you know, they're two different characters. They're good partners, but they got that chemistry. And that scene where, you know, they leave the house, they're like, okay, NYPD is going to handle this. We'll come back as FBI officially in the morning. And she suggests we got to take off our clothes and, you know, do this. And they're just in that room, in his living room, with just their underwear. And it's like, you're telling me that they're not leading toward that. I mean, maybe. Look,
maybe
in real
Hopefully
life,
they can
different
keep it
things
straight.
happen.
Right.
In real life, things happen, but in TV world, that's a sign of a relationship that's gonna happen.
Yeah, pretty much. We go together now.
Yes, exactly.
You saw me naked. We go together now.
Exactly. They're getting to that part. They have that conversation where she's really questioning him, and he's trying to just tell her, look, this is what happened. She asks about the knife. He says, look, it broke. I eat takeout. Why do I need 13 knives? I don't think he did it, but
No.
man, he still could have. And I'm trying to think, well, what would be the outcome if he did actually do it? You know, because I feel like he's too, I don't want to say too nice of a character, but at the same time, what does that accomplish to the bigger story if he did do it? And I think that's why I'm leaning more toward someone
Right.
else is framing him, and it's just a more part of the elaborate plan. But yeah, so dude,
We also find out that Roman and Shepard.
yes, they're still they're keeping some secrets from Jane. They're trying to get her, like, she's got to see the motivation. She's got to see that bigger part of the plan. And I think that just really sums it up pretty well. Like, they're setting us up to see just a bigger picture. We're just a little over, a quarter of the season, because the first one, it's going to be about 10, then we're assuming a holiday break. So we're escalating to a big mid-season finale where I do feel they're going to finally just address, is Roman going to be, on Team Jane or Team Shepard? And obviously the aftermath is going to play out in the second half of the season in the new year. But yeah, right now, just are they or aren't they? Will they live? Did they kill them? And we didn't even really talk about it, but Patterson and Borden, we see the struggle. We finally understand what was going on.
Right.
Did you think that was it? That she was just still projecting her ex-boyfriend? Because I thought...
I think
yeah.
I didn't even really necessarily take that away. I just took away that she didn't want him to get too involved in what she was doing work-wise because she didn't want to lose him like she lost her boyfriend.
I feel like that was it too.
She was just really just trying to protect him and protect their relationship.
Yeah, and because we talked about it before, that is it possible that she just doesn't want to move on, like make them public and make them a thing?
No, I don't think so.
It's different.
And then even when she had that outburst and she called him David,
Yeah.
Again, it's just one of those things where you're in the heat of the moment and it's so familiar. You're not aware of it, but you're in such a familiar space with your argument and what you're going through that your mind just reverts back to the person that you were having. Right. And I mean, I've done it in previous relationships where and lucky for me, they both had S name. They both had names. Started with the same letter.
It's like, hey, Sal,
and it was like, did
Sydney.
you just call me so? No, I didn't call you so and so, but I did because the argument was so similar to an argument I had with an ex. So I don't think she meant anything by it. Obviously, it was an innocent accident, and I really just think she's trying to protect him.
You almost would have needed your own FBI protection on
Man,
that.
I'm telling you.
You would have needed Nas to have your back.
Ever call your current woman by your ex's name. Ever.
Yeah, and with that, by the way, we saw the teaser, they talked about an assassin's breaking into the FBI, and again, we didn't get the scene this week, but apparently some might happen to Patterson.
Yeah.
I mean, she's our favorite character. I know that. I don't think anything's going to happen. She's just too much of a favorite to go out like that on something that they tease. So
right,
I say...
definitely. She'll probably get hurt.
We're going to gasp, but she'll be safe. She'll make it to the end.
I don't think it's she's met her end yet when it comes to Blindspot. I'm definitely anxious to see who this Spider-Man Mission Impossible serial killer dude is. Like, this dude is so badass just from the clips that they showed.
Freaking, like, he disappears like a ghost.
Right. He's jumping, he's coming down stuff like Spider-Man, crawling on things. He's doing the whole Mission Impossible, hovering
He's taking out the whole FBI by himself.
Dude, he's like just a Spider-Man, Tom Cruise, serial killer,
crazy.
Zodiac hybrid.
Dude,
he's something.
I mean,
but it's gonna be
he
good
might be
next
able
week.
to keep up with the Nightingale at this rate.
Right.
For more information, check us out in about an hour on the Frequency After Show. And with that, Kelly, thank you so much for filling in. I appreciate you.
No
thank
problem.
You for hanging
Appreciate
out.
being
Where can
here.
the fans find you on Twitter, my friend?
The fans can find me on Chaos J. They can find me as, Chaos J, KAAOSJ. You can also find me on Instagram, Chaos_Oceans31. Oceans, why? Because your boy's so wavy.
Oh, I love it. And guys, we'll be back at our regular time next week, Thursday at 9 o'clock. As you know, I'm Gabriel Gonzalez. You can follow me on Twitter, Double G on TV to talk the show. I'll see you guys next time.
I think I'm going to go back and take my nap.
Go for it, bro.
All right.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.